Yeah.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Friday Flow Healing Glow. By the way, the name was jointly suggested by Sonal and me. So, we have to thank Sonal for that because when we were planning that, we were wondering what name we should give to this amazing podcast and video. Welcome everyone to the Healing Glow Friday Flow since it's on Friday. And we have our first, very first guest, Sonal Sinha, who's a dear friend, who is a part of the unicorn community, who is also, she's amazing at EFT. She is also an NLP practitioner, tarot reader, Reiki practitioner, and so much more. And we connected on on a very amazing level where we have been sharing experiences with each other. We have been part of unicorn community, and I'm sure you must have seen her videos, right? She selflessly shares videos every Wednesday on EFT where she picks up some amazing topics and she shares how tapping is done. And I personally experienced a lot of magic when I have taken sessions with her, or sometimes just as friends when we share, or our unicorn community when we sit and share things. And Sonal is amazing at it. So let me welcome Sonal to this channel and this amazing topic which she has for us. So Sonal, over to you, and looking forward to hear from you about everything. So let's begin. Let's start. Let's get it started.
Thank you, Ashwini. I feel the same for you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to, join here. So today's topic is freedom from stress with
Hmm.
emotional freedom technique,
Yes.
EFT. So as you all know, I'm a certified practitioner, and I'll be sharing as in the knowledge that I have gained through experience.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
so let's begin with it. Okay, so mostly we will discuss about stress, how stress affects us, our
Right.
mental and physical health,
Right.
and what can we do about it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Sonal, before that, I'm just going to ask you as a, because although I've taken sessions from you, we have done things together. For people who are totally new to this, and people who may be watching both you and me for the first time, they must have just bumped on this video, or if they're listening to this as a podcast.
Mhm.
I just want to know everything from what exactly is stress, because nowadays people throw away this word stress, right? People say that I'm stressed. I even heard kids saying that I'm stressed. And what exactly is this stress? I mean, of course, in the due course of today's audio, we are going to hear all of this and learn from you. But if you could throw some light on that, it will be really helpful for all our viewers. And of course, for me, because I can also understand it from a perspective of another therapist, another healer. So happy to even start with that if you could add something about it.
Okay. So stress, the definition
Yeah.
is a state of mental or emotional strain or
Hmm.
tension
Yeah.
resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. So
Okay.
anytime you are in a circumstance which is demanding something out of your comfort zone,
Hmm.
something very little also
Right.
creates a stress. All right.
Right.
Makes you
Right.
uncomfortable in your head and then you feel it in your body. So
Yeah.
that is what stress is.
And feel it in your body
Okay.
is important, because I think we do not pay attention to our body so many times when our body is shouting that. Yeah. Right. So very well put.
So symptoms, like how can we, like if you have to say that, how can we understand that we are stressed out,
Yeah.
right? So some of the symptoms could be that you get into overeating, binge eating. We're all aware of it. Binge
Yes.
is something that like even if you're not hungry, you're still wanting more, more, more. It's a
Yeah.
kind of numbing your void, the emotional
Yes.
void that
Yes.
you're feeling. Some sort of
Yes.
an emotional void is there that you're numbing by eating too much. Okay.
Wow.
You can experience headaches. You might want to stay aloof. You
Yeah.
might gain a lot of weight,
Yeah.
suddenly. You might
Yes.
lose a lot of weight
Yes.
suddenly. There could be digestion issues like irritable bowel syndromes or constipation,
Wow.
um, depression, like, feeling sad for no reason, being aloof, staying alone. Some other symptoms are, so these are like, we are not even aware of this. So
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
age, your body changes. You might gain weight,
Yes.
might lose weight. That's because your body is changing as per your age.
Right.
But we have seen ourselves in a best version, and we constantly compare ourselves with the previous self.
Previous version. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
that creates self. Oh my God, I'm not like that anymore. So the acceptance of who
Hmm.
I am right now is not there, and that also creates stress.
Wow.
एक बाल सफेद हो गया तो we'll be like, oh my God, my hair is white. Oh my God, I got wrinkles. So all of this also creates stress. Then all of us went through the pandemic, COVID.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
We had to wear a mask. So
Mask.
things as small as putting on the mask is also creates stress. Whether it's in the right place, why do I have to put it? I'm not able to breathe properly.
Yeah.
As long as you're keeping it, I remember that the moment I used to take it off, I used to feel a sense of relief.
Yeah, that way.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is also stress. Okay. That is also
Wow.
stress, which is impacting your body.
And this is
Okay.
so important, and Sonal, especially because you said about things like constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, having headaches, having digestion issues, which is all linked to stress. And what people do normally, that is what an average person we do is we pop a pill, and we only take care of the symptoms, and we do not look at it as what is the root cause,
Correct.
right? And no one actually goes there. And of course, when we decided to start with this, and you were among the very first people who said that you would be our speaker on this, where this is all what the objective of these talks is, because a lot of people listen to us at a podcast level too, when people are working at their desk and probably just plugging on to their earphones or headphones, and they are like, I listen to these as podcasts. So I think the whole aim of these conversations was to reach all these people and to tell them that you can make a different choice.
Yes.
You can
That's true.
take care of your health in a holistic way, and you can make those choices which will change a lot of things for you. So thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that.
So we can work it out basically, that's what we're going to explore in this session
Sure,
today.
sure, sure, sure.
So in our time today, we will cover what is the root cause of stress or illness.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
And how to reverse the negative effects of stress, and what is emotional freedom technique,
Yeah,
and how can it help in creating health.
sure.
Okay. So I want to share a bit about me, as
Of
in
course. I mean,
how.
that's what I was coming to about. Let us introduce you to everyone about, because I have known you since the past. We know each other since almost 3 years now, and we have uh, done sessions together. We have collaborated, but I'm sure everyone wants to know. Many people watch your videos on Unicorn University. I remember last week a couple of our folks wrote to me saying, "Oh, we are really missing those EFT videos from that lady." So I really love that. It's so liberating. So over to you, please, if you could just quickly introduce yourself for everyone who's watching us.
So I am basically a qualified computer engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and when I got married, I got pregnant, and pregnancy was difficult
Hmm.
because it was on bed rest. It was a twin pregnancy,
Hmm.
and when the kids came into picture, there was nothing doing. It was
Yep.
just kids. By the time they turned two, I realized that one child is on the autism spectrum,
Hmm.
and then there was no looking back. Then there was no scope of going back to work because
Right.
I had to run for therapies, etc. And in the course of taking him for therapies, trying to make him better, I realized I need to correct myself at a lot of places
Yep.
because I'm holding on to so much, and it's kind of burdening. Also,
Hmm.
because I was not in place, I couldn't handle anything properly. Like I couldn't
Correct.
handle my relationships. I couldn't handle. The work front was obviously gone for a toss. So it also, brings up a question mark. Am I that my identity is lost? All these years you
Yeah.
study a certain, you become certain thing, and once you are there, when you see that your peers are all flourishing in their career, you're raising two kids, which is also a very important thing.
Of
But then
course.
suddenly the whole thing changes. Okay, you come
Yeah.
into a question mark that what am I doing? And so it all takes a lot of toll. The mental balance went for a toss. Plus, there's so much of
Right.
physical burnouts. Handling
Yes.
children together with very different needs and at the same
Yeah.
age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and also because I was the primary caretaker, of the special child that I have. And so I would be the one who was updated, how to be with him, how to,
Correct.
deal with him and things like that. Then to explain it to everybody else in the family, it was a lot. It was a lot, basically. Also, when you go out, you judge yourself that, what did I do wrong? So
Yep.
because I, whatever. So I realized with all those thoughts going on that, A, I'm not able to focus on my children the way they need it. And
Right.
B is that I need help. More than,
Hmm.
my children needing help, I am the one
Yep.
who I really need to balance myself out in order to, take care of whatever that I want to. Or
Yep.
even do, even if I really want to just have fun or be myself, I need to sort myself first.
Yep.
So,
True.
so I just banged into EFT. I came across a lady who was doing it. I was
Hmm.
asking people, who could be the right person to help me out, and friend suggested that she's taken EFT and she liked it. So she said you could give it a try. So I said fine. So I trusted that friend and I just went ahead with those sessions,
Hmm.
and it brought a lot of grounding. I understood a
Yep.
lot about myself,
Yep.
and then I decided to take it up as a career option, because then I could do it at my pace. Uh,
Yes.
I could do something for myself, something that I like apart from being a mother and a wife and a family
Yep.
member.
Yep.
I could do something that Sonal likes to do.
Right.
And so that's how I came across EFT, and then I got certified as a practitioner, as a facilitator, EFT facilitator. Then I also did NLP, and then it's ongoing. I'm still learning,
Yes.
but
And the
I'm
life
like,
opened this whole Pandora box of the
yeah,
amazing modalities, which I believe they come to our life at a time when we are just ready to receive them. I think it like my journey began with Reiki and then everything just started coming. So I can just correlate to what you said. So yeah,
yes. So then, yeah, so now I primarily mostly help parents, to overcome their burden and enjoy what they have, like,
of
just
course, of
accept
course.
accept whatever it is. And so once you come into this enjoyment frequency, then you're
Yes,
able to do
yes,
a lot,
yes,
that
yes.
lot more than what you can think of.
Of
And it comes with
course.
ease. It doesn't come with a sense of, oh my god, I have to do this. It comes with like, okay, let's do this.
Yes. So you are in the vortex, as we say
So
in,
I went journey. Yeah.
yeah, as we say
I
in the
went
law
through
of
the journey.
attraction.
I could be like, I was completely burdened, and then I came to that.
Yeah.
So that's how I helped
Wow.
other parents, yeah, to deal with it.
Amazing. That's so inspiring. And
Yeah.
I'm sure if any parents are watching this, they can definitely connect to what Sonal said, because I don't have my own biological kid. So as a parent, I would be very this is something, but I understand your journey and I understand because we all have our own struggles. But especially this could be for anyone who's a parent and who is looking for some kind of a solace or some inspiration, I would say, because you have inspired many people. You have inspired so many people who are on this journey, and it will be great for people who watch this.
Yeah. So moving on to stress.
Yes.
That
Moving
was
back to
all
stress.
about,
Yeah.
yeah.
Moving back to what stress is. Yeah.
So yeah, so that was all about me. And yeah, so stress, so let's talk about how stress creates illnesses, right?
Yeah.
85% of the illnesses are stress related.
Yeah.
And 90% of doctor visits are also stress related. It's not
Yes.
basically the illness, it's the stress. Because of the symptoms that you're aware of, you want to run to the doctor and, feel
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then leading causes of divorce, weight gain, obesity, and addictions,
Yeah.
all is stress
Everything is
related.
stress. Yes.
Yeah. Then there is something known as unresolved emotions, which creates a lot of stress. Okay. And
Hmm. Hmm.
unresolved emotional upsets also leads to illnesses.
Wow.
Now, what is
Wow.
an unresolved emotion? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
unresolved emotion would be, say you don't know how to express, or you've been
Yeah.
taught as a that you should only speak about good things. It's a normal conditioning.
It's a
I
normal
think
conditioning. Yeah. In the
a lot
society.
of,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you are unable to express what you felt, right?
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
has made you upset, but you don't
Yeah.
know how to speak it out, or how to,
Yeah.
even if you've spoken about it, you still are struggling with it inside. That is
Right.
a resolved emotion. That emotional upset you have not been able to turn around and become
Wow.
okay with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When
Right.
you're when you're dealing with the same stressful emotion again and again inside, it creates those hormones, which creates stress in the body, which
Hmm.
then, manifests into some of the other illnesses.
Absolutely. And this is so important, Sonal, because I always share this. I remember about 10, 12 years ago when I used to work in the corporate sector into banking. I remember there was a time where I was having a conversation with a few colleagues of mine, and we were
Mhm.
sitting and we were having probably a coffee or lunch, something in
Okay.
our office cafeteria. And there was some sweet which was being served at the office cafeteria. And I said, okay, I'm not going to eat this because I was on some diet program or whatever it was at that time. So two of my colleagues were sitting in front of me, two male colleagues, and they said, Ashwini, eat it. देखो, we can eat it now. After 50, सबको बीमार पड़ना है. सबको diabetes होना है and all that. And, you know, I felt a lot of heaviness when I heard that. And I said, no, it's not the case that everyone is going to fall sick, although this is what the collective talks about, the world in which we live, the reality in which we talk about. Like I always said that I know so many people who did not have diabetes.
Yeah,
Like
true.
my parents never had diabetes, right? So people believe that diabetes to hona hai. People talk about ill health and problems relating to health as if it is going to be there at for everyone. And I was really scared when I heard that. I
Mm,
think that was one of the times which was I was being pulled towards my spiritual awakening, because when, of course, with Reiki, I started understanding how emotions work with. But people talk about ill health. I think the generation before, a few generations before us, they talk about ill health. They normalize it as if it is good to live with it, but they do not go back and look at emotions causing that. Right.
correct.
And Sonal, it really pinched me. It really hurt me when I heard that comments from my colleagues, although I was, I must be hardly 27, 28 year old, maybe around that time. But uh, I felt a lot of uneasiness in that. And I know we have spoken about this before when we've had those discussions. So, now that you're talking about unresolved emotions and health and doctor visits and all of that, I think people need to hear this and people need to listen to this, that it is not just that it is happening by fluke, it's going to happening to everyone. No, we have ways to work through this. We can work through this and we could make different choices. So thank you
True.
for saying that. But I just wanted to share this
Yeah.
with you and all our viewers as well as our listeners who are going to listen to us on the podcast, because um, this is a collective limiting belief which must be released, and we must create a belief, an empowering belief which says that we all deserve to live a happy, healthy life till the time it's our time on earth.
And it's like, we're a lot of us are unaware that, we can deal with it. These
Yes,
chronic diseases or
yes, yes.
illnesses. There is a holistic way, a very healthy way to deal with it, and
Yeah,
live with it. Like you don't need to
correct,
suffer.
correct,
Okay. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's so this again, while you were sharing, I realized that, it pinched you when they said that, abhi kha lo, later you will have to fall sick. This is also example of an unresolved emotion. Like, something you did not
Absolutely.
agree to, it did not
Yes.
get resolved in you. And it was like, oh my God, why do people have to think like that? Or why are they imposing that on me?
Why the
Yeah.
imposing on me is what was because that's not my reality, and that's what we say
True.
often when we go through like even in hypnotherapy while learning it. This is one thing which even I've learned, that that's not my reality. I choose to create my own reality. That's an affirmation which we give ourselves, and we
Yeah.
do not have to adhere to what the collective is agreeing to just because it's someone else's, in access we say, interesting point of view, right? So that really hurt me, Sonal. And and from since that day, I mean, not since that day, I would say once I started with Reiki, and my entire the trajectory of my life changed, and my journey itself went on a very different tangent. But this was one thing which I decided as a mission, that we are going to tell people to empower themselves, to make beliefs which will be empowering, which will make them live a life which is conscious, which is full of choices, and which is empowering. So, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. So moving on. So then there is something also known as suppressed emotions. It is similar
Yeah.
to unresolved.
Yeah.
Unresolved is something that is not resolved. Suppressed would be that you're aware that certain emotions or certain things are triggering you, but you tend to
Mm-hmm.
hold on. You don't want to express it, or you don't know how to show it. You are suppressing it within you.
Suppressing it. Yeah.
All right, thinking that avoiding it will make things look better, or avoiding it will make you better.
Or we feel, correct me if I'm wrong, I will be a better person if I'm not angry. I will
Yeah,
come
those could
across, yeah,
be those could be certain beliefs
yeah,
around.
beliefs, right? Again,
Yeah,
limiting beliefs. Yeah.
yeah. So again, but if you have a lot of suppressed emotions, it increases the risk of cancer by 70% and heart
Yes.
diseases by 47%. So these are all research numbers that I'm talking about. Okay. Then there is something known as adverse childhood experiences that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, if you could give me the share rights, I want to share
I
those
will.
lines.
I will. Very happy to. Very happy to. So for all our viewers, you can watch.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Sure. And for all your listening, you can, once we talk about it, you'll get more clarity on what we are talking about.
Yeah. So, adverse childhood experiences are stressful or traumatic experiences
Yeah.
that have huge impact on health and wellness.
Yeah.
So, what basically it's trying to say, as a child, if you've had certain adverse experiences, it creates a pattern of bring inviting stress in your life,
Hmm.
and it impacts your health. And normal, because you create limiting beliefs while growing up because of those certain experiences, and it those limiting beliefs then will affect your wellness, because then you're not
Yeah.
able to think right. You're always
Hmm.
always hold on to that fear, and you judge every situation in the way you've experienced in the past, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, so this is what I wanted to share. uh, so what are the behaviors that
Right.
shows that you have been through what do you say you have been through adverse childhood experiences?
Yeah.
One, lack of physical activity,
Yeah.
could be substance like smoking,
Yeah.
alcohol, drugs,
Correct.
avoiding work, missed
Hmm.
work, right? You will
Yeah.
not go to work, you'll not want to be productive and things like that. Other physical and mental health symptoms are severe obesity, diabetes, depression, suicide attempts,
Yeah.
sexually transmitted diseases,
Right.
heart diseases, cancer, stroke, and broken bones, and also,
Yeah.
breathing
COPD.
issues.
Yeah. Breathing issues. Yeah.
So these are some of the symptoms that can, give you an alarm clock that, okay, probably I do have ACEs, or I do have adverse childhood effects, or
Right.
someone I know maybe has it and might need help.
Wow. But
And I'm
Sonal, why I really like talking about this is, we forget childhood as if it was thing of a past. And when people come for healing, when we say, okay, what kind of experiences you had in childhood, so like, what does it have to do with this? Because people don't relate that there could be adverse childhood effects which is causing issues in your adult life, and they as if put a lid on all those emotions and do not go through it. So I think this is very important point, and maybe people who are watching us for the first time or hearing us for the first time might get an aha moment at this, that, oh my god, so this may be actually relating to my childhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Right.
Yeah. Also, you see your caretakers or your parents, deal with certain situations in certain ways,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you form that as a baseline. And
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
necessary that they are dealing with it in the right way. They did what was available for them.
Yeah.
Could not, not necessary that that's the best thing that they did.
Of course.
And
And there
then,
was
but
not much awareness.
standard, yeah, and then you follow that.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, so how can ACEs show up in children?
In
So
children.
fear of people, fear of other people,
Hmm.
difficulty sleeping, bedwetting, frequent nightmares, change in their mood, constant
Hmm.
mood swings, okay, difficulty in
Right.
showing affection, then difficulty in learning in school, okay,
Yeah.
not pay attention, and not able to focus, and
Correct.
avoiding situations similar to past trauma. So anytime they've felt uncomfortable, they will, if they feel okay, this similar situation similar to that, they'll probably want to run off.
Right.
They won't. Yeah. Now, yeah. So this is so these are the causes, which
Yeah, yeah,
this can happen. Um, could be abuse. Okay, as a child, you faced physical abuse. Physical abuse, we all understand.
yeah.
You were hit by somebody, or somebody used to, anybody, they would physically abuse you. Emotional abuse, using very bad verbal
Harsh
terms for
language. Yeah,
harsh language, and sexual abuse.
yeah,
These are all self-explanatory, so I will not dig deep into it. Then neglect.
yeah.
Okay, so neglect was it? What is a physical neglect? Physical neglect is, see, we all like to have a safe space and safe touch, especially
Right.
kids. If you know
Yes,
that, the moment the child is born, the child is asked to be placed on the mother's stomach. Because
yes.
that touch makes the child feel safe. Okay,
Yeah,
so that, cuddling, hugging, making the child feel safe,
yeah,
yeah, that is needed. It's an important part of growing up. If that has been taken off, that cuddling from the parents, from the caretakers,
yeah,
if that's taken off, the child feels a lack.
yeah.
There's strong neglect. It
Hmm.
creates strong. It creates, um, there are examples of, people not feeling loved enough, or sometimes um, they have very, very strong sexual desire
Yeah.
because they've not felt that, basically the hug,
Intimacy. Yeah,
yeah, as a child, so they are seeking it outside elsewhere, that maybe I get it from elsewhere. And
correct.
this, either nobody joins the dots.
Yeah,
We judge
exactly.
ourselves and we judge others in very negative ways, but could
Yes,
the root
yes.
cause could be something else altogether.
Right, right.
And then emotional neglect, so we all have this tendency. The child cries, or a child might throw a tantrum, which is absolutely unacceptable, or maybe
Hmm.
huge, for a very, like, I think 3 days back,
Yeah,
ordered something from Flipkart, and it was, my son was very excited to have it, like, that finally I'm getting it.
yeah.
And the order was messed up by Flipkart. Okay,
Oh,
they sent something else. Okay, and then this guy was about to open it and use it, and then I said that, okay, you can't use it for the next 5 days. I just spoke to customer care; they'll replace it, but you can't use it. And he had a complete meltdown. Oh my God, he cried
hmm.
as if, what happened, and he cried for about 2 hours.
Oh, my dear.
And and it was getting overwhelming for me also. I won't disagree,
Yes.
but and so I had a long face, and then he's looking at me and telling me, you know what, judge me for crying like this. Tell me I'm a bad boy. I said, no, I'm telling you it's not a big deal. Whatever has happened is not a big deal, but I understand that you need more time to get used to
Process
it.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I know that you're probably you it's a normal thing for me, and you're feeling that I'm judging you because of my face and stuff, but I'm upset with the Flipkart people. I understand you need more time. So those words comforted me, and the next day he forgot about it.
Wow.
Yeah, so next day, then there was, and then he's laughingly saying, oh, you know what, I created such a drama because
Oh, but
so
that's so much awareness in a child, which is also hats off to you for that because
yeah,
yeah,
so but I had to learn this,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have it. I had to
Right.
learn the skill that, even I would get upset that, oh my God, how much will you cry? But then I had to learn the skill. And then that's why he said, I know you're judging me because I'm crying so much. And
Oh,
I
my
said,
dear.
not. I'm not. I know you're finding it difficult to process it. It's okay, you're taking longer time, but I'm telling you, it's not a big deal. So I kept reinforcing that, it's not a big deal. It's a small thing. And so that is an emotional neglect, when a child is feeling vulnerable for a,
Yeah,
petty thing maybe, but, is not addressed. That you can't feel like that. You as adults, we often reject their
yeah,
emotion. Yeah.
exactly.
So that is a neglect, an emotional neglect, I would say.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then a household dysfunction, like, mental illness.
Yes.
If somebody has mental illness in the house, if some relative is incarnated in jail,
Yeah.
uh, if a mother is treated violently in the house,
Right.
substance abuse,
Abuse. Yeah.
and if a child comes from a parted family, a
Yeah.
divorce.
Yeah.
So these are few reasons that cause ACEs.
Right.
And slides are, these slides are prepared by my teacher, Dr. Rangana Rupavi Chaudhary. So
They are just beautiful, and the way it's all put up makes it so clear and
yeah,
very good to understand.
I just put it across so that, visually it's
Yes, yes, yes,
easier to
definitely.
understand. Yeah.
And I'm sure people who are also listening to us, maybe I can share the link of the video. So only for this portion, if they wish to watch it. But I think even you have explained it so well that without the slides too, people can understand how wonderfully you put up the points for that. So if you're listening, don't feel left out, don't feel FOMO. You are still receiving what you have to receive.
Yeah. Okay. Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, that was about ACEs,
Right.
right? And how it creates stress and how we carry it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, moving on, there is something I want to talk about is unexpressed anger. Okay, anger.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Anger is something that we judge so horribly.
So
You cannot get
much.
angry. Getting angry is wrong. You shouldn't get angry. Why are you getting angry? Anger creates health issues. Anger
Yes.
creates health issues. But if you don't deal with it, if you keep
Yeah.
suppressing it, if you don't express it, if you don't take it out, it will create.
Yes.
Getting angry is we are born with these emotions and we've categorized it as good and bad
Good and bad. Yeah.
in the way we feel it. Okay, but they are all emotions. There's a sadness, there is, feeling left out, there is anger, there is happiness, there is joy, feeling successful,
Yeah.
feeling, euphoria. So these are all different emotions. You
Yeah.
can't escape one to, have the other.
Have the other. Correct. Correct. Correct.
So the first thing I think, is that, we drop the judgment around anger that
Yes.
why did you get angry? Oh, that person gets angry, or, I get angry. So unexpressed anger is something that, you got angry, but you did not have a platform to express it out. Or
Hmm.
you shut down that, okay, you
Yeah.
cannot say this.
Yeah.
It creates a turmoil inside, okay? You
It
really want to
does.
shout it out. Okay.
Yes.
But we can't often do it, especially in social places like, maybe corporate office or, maybe, if, for example, we are having a conversation and something might trigger me and I'm angry, I cannot get angry right now. Okay. So you can't always take it out everywhere.
Yeah.
So the unexpressed anger, if it's not taken out, it is known to be linked to cancer.
Yeah.
Also, it creates a lot of other issues too. There can be skin issues, all right, if
Hmm.
you have unexpressed anger. There can be acidity issues
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're holding on a lot of anger, and headaches, a lot of
Yeah.
headaches, because um, you're just trying to, suppress it. You're not dealing it. You're not taking it out.
Correct.
You're not trying to
Correct.
communicate and to make it better. So I have an exercise right now. It is called as time
Wow.
release.
That's excellent.
And those who are watching can do it with us, and those who
Yes.
will later can also try it out. Okay, so this tantrum release is preferably, do it in your bathroom or your bedroom clothes.
Okay.
Okay, so there are three steps to it. Okay,
Okay.
the first one is when you find this small dent under the collarbone. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a dent under the
Yes.
collarbone.
Yeah.
Okay, and you tap gently on that. Okay.
Okay.
Second step is, you shout out ah, like loudly. Okay.
Okay.
Three, two, one, while tapping. Ah.
Ah.
Okay. Loud, really loud. And the third is
Ah. Okay.
stamping your feet simultaneously on the ground as though you're
Wow.
throwing a full blown tantrum and shout. So three, two, one. Ah.
Ah.
Breathe out and then take a sip of water.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Although I didn't shout full-fledged because I have a very loud voice and I think my neighbors will come and ask what's happening. But I did feel some kind of relief, Sonal. Let me tell you, I just felt like
Yeah.
I just let something out of me.
Yes. So any kind of heaviness or low feeling or,
Hmm.
anger, it's a very good exercise to just release it.
Yeah.
When we do EFT, we get into a lot of, thinking of what you felt and stuff. But with kids,
Yeah.
if you just make it a part of their routine, kids don't think so much, they don't process so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make it a part that, you can do this, take it out.
Yep.
So it's a very good way to, just feel light.
Right.
And people ask me how many times can you do it? There's no number to it. You can just do it as many times as you want to, whatever is comfortable for you. There were certain parents who even said that, if I tell my child to do this, what if he starts doing it on the street? To be frank, when my child was even younger, I would even make him do it on the street. I was like, just do
Wow.
it.
Okay.
Okay. But just watch out. How comfortable are you with it? I was like, just shout and take it out, Please don't create a havoc. If you're not comfortable, then you please pre-frame it to your child that, you have to do it inside the bathroom or,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Inside the
inside
house.
the
Yeah.
car. Yeah. Okay. So that was one of the exercises. This is one of the exercises of something called as energy flow. So energy
Okay.
flow are certain exercises in which we activate the meridian points, the vagus nerve in the
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
which also helps us to release stress. A lot of stress that our body holds on to. It's not always that you. So a lot of people find it comforting to speak about their stress and release it. A lot of them don't know how to speak about it. So then these exercises are helpful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Even though you're dealing with a stress, you might not know that, why am I feeling like that? You might not able to process it. So everybody
Correct.
processes information differently.
And Sonal, what I've also seen with a lot of clients is that not they're not able to express exactly what they are feeling, which
Correct.
also
Yeah.
acts as a barrier. I mean, it takes for them a while to open up and to understand and logically decode what they are feeling inside. Like they say that I just don't know what, but I'm not feeling good. That's what a lot of people would say. They are not really able to process or group emotions and put them into are they really unexpressed? Are they suppressed? And there is no training for this, right? We never learned this as children, as teenagers, when we were growing
True.
up. So a lot of us have a lot of unprocessed things which were from maybe 15-20 years ago, but we really do not know where
We don't
it's come
know.
from. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
absolutely true.
And also I've seen with a lot of male clients. Now I'm not gender stereotyping anyone here, but I know a lot of male clients who come for say access bars or reiki. They say that I just can't express and I do not know what to do, because as a man we were told not to express, and and that's where they are. A lot of them are still stuck in that, and I think these exercises can help not just children and not just mothers, but I think every person. So for if you're watching
Yeah.
this video, if you're listening to this, no matter, don't look at it as, oh, she's a mother and that's the reason she. I think this
Correct.
can be for anyone and everyone, not just children,
Yeah.
not just women,
Stress is something which is hit by everybody, right?
everyone, right? Yeah. So
It's
even
so
for people who are into the corporate world and they are going through a lot of
correct.
deadline stress, and we don't even know sometimes what's bothering us. It's all around us and we just don't know how to deal with it. I think this technique which you just spoke about is brilliant. It's simply brilliant.
It is. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is unforgiveness. Now, how
Hmm.
unforgiveness
Yeah.
creates stress or illnesses.
Yeah.
So, unforgiveness can lead to diabetes, pain, and heart attack.
Yeah.
How? What? What is
Yeah.
unforgiveness? So, forgiveness, as we've all heard what forgiveness is, right? That you've been through probably a painful or an uncomfortable situation or an incident. Either you hold yourself responsible for it, so you're not able to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, giving yourself is like, becoming okay with it and moving on, right?
Right.
And or you hold the other person who's involved in the situation responsible for it.
Wow.
That, you know, because of that person, this happened and I can't forget it. Or I
Yeah.
experienced this painful incidents because
Because
of
of, yeah.
so, and I just can't forget it. I just cannot overcome the pain that I have experienced. Now, what happens when you hold on to that? When you are holding on to that painful experience or incidents, every time you think of it, you relive that incident. You are recreating the whole incidents in your head over and over again. You are experiencing the same emotions because you've not let go, because it has not become okay for you to have experienced that. You are recreating the whole incidents again and again
Yeah.
and generating the same hormones, which creates stress in the body. And then over the time, when you're thinking about the same thing, creating the same hormones, it is going to lead to diseases. You know, how would you say, why unforgiveness is related to diabetes, pain, or heart attack? People who have heart issues,
Yeah.
they are very sensitive. Okay, they're very sensitive to receiving pain, and they're very very what do I say? Where they hold on to sadness very easily.
Yes.
They uh, sadness is something which they will naturally hold on to.
Yeah.
And people who have diabetes, they often feel that they are very particular about things. Generally, it's been noticed they are too particular about things, and secondly, they always feel they are not being treated correctly. They constantly
Mm.
feel they're not being treated correctly, and when you have this feeling that I was not treated right, you can't forget, right? You can't
Yeah.
forgive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So these kind of emotions, when see, like you said, nobody teaches this to us. But there are studies done now. People are becoming aware that,
Yeah.
diabetes just cannot happen because you're eating excess of sugar,
Correct.
right? Heart attack just cannot happen because the cholesterol went high because you were eating a lot of fatty substance.
Like I always say, my grandfather, he passed away when he was 87. I saw him eating so much sugar, but he never got diabetes. And, we would always say that even when he was really old, when he was 87, just before he would eat sugar and sweets. But this is exactly, not everyone who would eat a lot of sweet would get diabetes. And there are people
Correct.
who do not even eat a lot of sweet. I see people who are really, they are of the smaller frame, they are
Mm.
lean, but they have diabetes, So it's not just because of sugar. And this is exactly what people are not really aware of, that it's not just food. And I mean, of course, food, I'm not saying that go and keep on eating sugar and all of that. Of course, there is harm which it does to your body as well, so be also very careful. But this topic today we are talking is not about that. But being aware of your emotions and knowing to how to deal with it is such an important thing. And I really feel sometimes when people say that, okay, what if you have to tell something out to the world, shout it out and tell to the whole world, what would that message be? And my message would be, look at your emotions and learn how to deal with them. Do not run away from them. Deal with them. Put your hands down in the soil and actually figure it out and get there. So that's
Yeah.
that's that's I guess what is very necessary.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we spoke so much about
Yeah.
stress
Yeah.
and how it happens and
Yeah.
how we hold on to it and how it creates illnesses, what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So figure out a way, and I think in today's world, everybody needs to do it. Figure out a way to release stress, whatever works for you. Could be, workout, could be meditation, yoga, anything that works for you. Figure out a way. Sometimes a stress goes beyond your limit to handle it on your own. So seek a clinically proven method that,
Yep.
releases your suppressed emotions,
Right. Right.
and learn a method to go off past trauma.
Hmm.
Okay, a trauma seems to be a huge word. I mean, if you go about telling somebody that, okay, deal with your trauma, and they'd be like, you're talking as if, I went through so much. But trauma is anything that has made you feel bad or made you feel vulnerable and you were not able to deal with the situation.
Yep.
It's I would say rather a common term used in mental health. Uh,
It is. It is. Of course. It is. Of
So
course.
it need not be huge, but it
Yeah.
has, given some sort of a traumatic experience to you.
Experience. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with. So instead of holding on to it, just work it out. Better out than in. Why do you want to hold it in and
Right,
make it
right, right,
work?
right, right. So, Sonal, we are getting some questions and some sharings. I guess we can take it after we are done with whatever discussion we have. So, we have something from Vaishali. We have Kaizeen is saying hi. So, hi, Kaizeen. And Namita is watching. So, all of you who are watching, Akanksha, Aparna, thank you so much for watching. And amazing discussion, isn't it? I mean, I'm totally blown away. So, Sonal will definitely take questions after we are done with whatever we have scheduled for discussion. And we promise we will come back to the questions. So, stay there and keep watching us because we still have something more yet from Sonal too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, clinically proven method, I use something known as EFT.
Yeah.
EFT, emotional freedom technique.
Yeah.
Okay. It helps in overcoming stress. It
Right.
eliminates physical pain. It heals the past. It defeats phobias, fears and phobias if you've had. Fears and phobias are also emotions you've held on to.
Yeah.
So it helps you in releasing that. And it heals the past trauma and accidents. It stops food cravings. We were talking about food craving.
Yeah. We spoke
Uh,
about this so much yesterday,
yeah.
right?
So food cravings is also you can control because again, like I said in the starting, binge eating and all, it's like suppressing your void emotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we can work it out through EFT. And then there are limiting beliefs that we are talking about. We can, of course, go back to the past and understand where did you create those limiting beliefs, how it interferes in your current life. And it was probably relevant then. You never know whether it's relevant now or not. So let go of what is not needed anymore, which helps you in moving on ahead in life. So EFT has been helpful, super helpful in these areas. Okay, I've personally like worked on myself through these methods, and that's how I can vouch for it.
And
Okay,
I've
please.
experienced with one with you. I've experienced one session with you, and I was going through this tough time last year, and I really felt a lot of relief in dealing with what I was going through. So, you know, it was
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yes. So it's EFT again, a few more examples. Students who find it, difficulties in focusing on examinations,
Right.
benefit from it. Sports people who need to be really focused on
Yeah.
their regular regime, routine,
Yeah.
they find it to be really helpful. Fibromyalgia, physical pain,
Hmm.
headaches, you're able
Yeah.
to overcome these things. Then fears and phobias, like I already mentioned.
Yeah.
EFT has been useful in such places. Something else that I want to discuss about is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Which
So
is so
EFT has
important.
been yes, EFT has been super helpful in PTSD also. So there was an experiment on war veterans
Yeah.
where one set of people went for 6 EFT sessions after they experienced the war, and the other set of people did not go for it. So those who went for EFT sessions, they were able to overcome their traumas or whatever the memories of the war by 90%. And others who had not gone for it, they were dealing with PTSD. So it was like an experiment that how impactful EFT is. Then EFT, like I mentioned already, it reduces pain, anxiety, depression. It's been effective in reducing blood pressure, cortisol levels, post-traumatic stress disorder, food cravings. And as a result of all this, it increases your immune system.
Yeah.
And it also creates happiness. Like you
Yeah.
start focusing on what is right in life.
What's right in life.
So
Yeah.
it's always a combination of right and wrong. By
Yeah.
default, we are programmed to focus on what is not right. But when you deal with what is not happening right, you
Yeah.
also focus on what is right. Okay,
Yeah. And you get
you
to
start
enjoy life, right? You get to
you start seeing
experience.
the benefits of whatever adverse experiences that you're facing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how it creates happiness. Now let me dig deeper in EFT. I'll show the 7 steps of how we do it. Okay.
Yay. This is my favorite part.
And then we'll do a short demo. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. So to begin with, you identify your goal or an issue. Okay. So
Yeah.
say suppose could be anything. For example, suppose you want to lose 2 kilos in 3 months or 2 months, maybe. Okay, you want to lose this is much. So that's your issue or a goal.
Yeah.
Or if I have to take another example, that I might have a knee pain, and
Yeah.
I'll say, that's my issue. My knee is paining. Then, once you've identified the goal or the issue, this is step number one. Step number two is getting a measure of it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is like it's absolutely worst, at its
Yeah.
worst,
Yeah.
whatever the goal or the issue is, how can goal be at its worst? So, I know I want to achieve this goal, but I think this is my difficulty to achieve it.
Yeah.
So, at what number is your difficulty? So on a scale of 1 to 10, then you give it a number that,
Yeah.
I'm facing a difficulty at this number, or my knee pain, if we talk about physical pain or any other thing like that, then
Yeah.
it is a so number, you
Yeah.
know. The 10 would be like I'm not able to handle with it at all, and
At
one would
all.
be,
Yeah.
yeah, one would
Yeah.
be that I'm pain free. This is not
Right.
at all. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you give it a number. And
Yeah.
then we start tapping from this. This is the side of the hand, which is under the
Okay.
little
So,
finger.
so you'll have to also speak because there will be some people who will only hear us on podcast. So if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could
I'm
also, yeah,
speaking. Yeah. So, under the little finger of
yeah.
any of the hand, the
Okay.
side of the hand,
Yeah.
okay, it is also called as the karate chop because, in the karate, you
Yeah.
use the side of the hand.
Yeah.
So, the karate chop point is under the little finger on the side of your hand, and we start tapping on it. And you can, okay, you
Yep.
can tap on your left hand, right
Yep.
hand, anyway.
Yep.
And then while tapping on this hand, we frame a statement saying, even though I have an issue, okay,
Mm-hmm.
at number so and so, I still love and accept myself. Now, why I love and accept myself? So, just to remind ourselves that even if one portion of my life is not functioning correctly, it doesn't mean that I'm not lovable. It doesn't mean that I'm not
Yeah.
okay.
This
There
is
are
so important, Sonal. This is so important.
yeah. So I love and accept myself even though I'm dealing with this issue at so and so number. Okay. Once you start, so why do we start from the karate chop at the side of the hand? Is because this basically makes you ready. This point basically makes you ready to receive or become open to receiving therapy or going ahead with it. Okay. Otherwise, people have a lot of doubts that what is
Will this
this? What
work?
help? Yeah. So these are basically acupuncture points or acupressure points that
Yeah.
we have listed in EFT.
Yeah.
And it helps in releasing emotion. And especially if you speak about certain emotions or certain issues that you're dealing with, and you simultaneously tap on these issues, it has been observed that, it flushes those emotions. And then
Hmm.
that particular incidence or goal or whatever issue becomes
Yeah.
a story. The emotional
Yeah.
around that story fades off.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I tell you, when we have people for workshops, right,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say that it's not possible. It could be possible for others, but it's not possible for me because, and then they have a story. Okay, something which happened to them, which made them believe that, oh, this is, probably this is what my reality is, and others, it's okay for them, they are lucky, but I'm not. People go in that narrative and they convince themselves that they do not deserve to receive the good, which we are here to break, that no matter what happens, you can receive good, and you will, if you just have to make those choices in life, and consult someone who can help you to get through this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we begin with the karate chop, the side of the hand. Okay,
Yeah.
we tap here with our fingers. So for those who are listening, so the fingers could be any finger, your middle finger, first finger, two
Yeah.
fingers, three fingers, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we come on the point where your eyebrows are, where the eyebrows
Yeah.
begin,
Yeah.
just above your nose, where the eyebrows
Yeah.
begin. So you can again tap on any side or both
Okay.
sides.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So then, when we come on these points, we repeat that issue that I am having this issue. We started with even though I have this issue, then we come on the eyebrow point and we say I have this issue.
Yep.
Then the next point is where the eyebrow ends, the temples.
Side
Okay,
of the eye. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
side of the eye.
Yeah.
So again, you repeat that I have this issue. Okay, then under the eye, the next point is your under the eye where the bone is a little towards the nose,
Nose. Okay.
little towards the nose under the eye, and you say that I have this issue. You again repeat that I have this issue. So it is basically addressing the issue that I am addressing that I am feeling this. I'm not
Yep.
avoiding it. I am addressing it
Right.
that yeah, I am it, right? Even though it's a negative emotion, I am feeling it. Then the next point is under the nose. Okay. And the next point is on the chin. It's actually right under the lip, but it'll be difficult to speak. So we go here.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter because your point actually covers one hand span. Every point
Okay.
one hand span. So even if your points are like a bit here and there,
It still
you
works.
it will
Yeah.
still work, right?
Energetically, it still gives you that.
Yes, yes. So the next point is on the chin, okay? And then the next point is under the collarbone. Again, you can tap on both sides or any side which is comfortable. Okay. So under the collarbone where the dent is, not on the collarbone, that will be
Yeah.
painful. Under the
Right.
collarbone. Then the next point is under the arm.
Okay.
For women, it is the bra strap, and for
Yeah.
men, it is like slightly above.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, then you tap under the arm, and then we have some finger points.
Okay, wow.
So, those finger points are like, you place your hands in a way where your thumb is towards the ceiling,
Hmm.
and then on the edge of the nail, which is towards the ceiling, on the thumb,
Hmm.
you tap over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Then on the first finger, the index finger, right? Then you tap the next point is on the index finger. Now, index finger will be avoided by females who are pregnant or are trying to conceive babies
Oh,
because
okay.
people who are expert in acupressure, acupuncture, they say that you should avoid these points. So,
Okay.
so the first finger again, the edge of the nail, which is towards the ceiling. Okay. Then the middle finger. Okay. And then we skip the ring finger. We don't tap on the ring finger only because, the tapping point is on the other side. So, not to break the flow, we tap on the thumb, the index finger, the
The
middle
middle
finger.
finger
We skip the ring finger, and then we
and
come on the little finger,
little
and again
finger.
on the same side of the nail, which is
Yeah.
towards the ceiling. Yeah. And then you come back to the karate chop.
Okay.
Yeah. So while tapping, we repeat that I have this issue, I have this issue, I have this issue. Okay. We repeat that I have this issue, issue, issue. And then we come back here and then we say that, then we close the sequence. We
Yeah.
say, even though I have this issue, I still love and accept myself.
Yes.
Okay. Then we take a deep breath in. So we relax. Then we take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth with a ha sound. Ha. So this, breathing out through the mouth, it helps you to clear the lymphatic system and it
Hmm.
releases a lot of stress. Okay. So then you breathe out through the mouth and then we take a sip of water.
Okay, wonderful.
And now we test again. Now we again test, okay, what was your goal? What was the issue?
What's the
Now what is the
intensity?
number?
Hmm.
The measure that we have taken, now we check again. Now what are you feeling? And then, it can be better, worse, and same. So all is good. Okay, don't
Hmm.
think that एक round tapping kiya and it has to be better. If it is better, very good. Repeat it. Do it again. If it is same, that means we need to actually tap into your specific words. Okay, your specific thing needs to be tapped out, and that's why you haven't felt a change. And if it is worse, then it is very good because you've hit something deep which needs to come out.
Which is now, on the verge of coming out, which was
Yeah,
maybe
which needs to
suppressed
come
and
out, and that's
yeah,
why you're
yeah,
feeling even bad.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
if it's the same and or if it gets worse, then get in touch with a practitioner who can help you out. Okay,
Sure.
because yeah, as in I can't teach the whole EFT here, and a
Of
lot of times
course.
when I am dealing with my stuff, I'm not able to do it on my own. So I seek guidance, right?
And I
From
think that's what we all do, like I always say this to healers that if you are going through something, don't judge yourself that I'm a healer or I'm a therapist and I'm still going through. Reach out to other persons. And I think that's often what we do with each other. We share with each other and we reach out to other therapists who can help us because we always have people who are there on this journey. So for of course for people who are watching this who would like to have sessions, it's great to get in touch. But if there are any healers watching, please know that you can deal with your stuff by taking help of other healers too. So thank you
yeah,
for bringing in that point, Sonal.
yeah. And so if I have to speak more about how EFT works,
Yeah,
then basically because of certain daily life incidences or past experiences, the energy flow of the body gets disturbed. And when you tap,
yeah,
the energy comes in sync and you feel
yeah,
a sense of relief.
correct.
If you have to speak about more about this, then there is something called an organ called as amygdala in our brain,
Yeah,
which alerts us
yeah,
when we are stressed out.
right.
And the size of amygdala grows. It's as big as an almond, and it grows the moment you feel some sort of a stress or a
Yeah,
negative emotion. And when we tap, like it's been proven that when we tap, it calms down the amygdala. It makes it brings it back to its original
smaller.
shape.
Yeah.
And then you feel a sense of relief. And then you're able to deal with the stressful situation in a calmer way. So you
Hmm.
don't, a lot of us also have this belief that, if I'm not stressed out, I will not work.
Oh yes, tell me
Yes.
about it. I know there are so many. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, the amygdala can become smaller. You can release the stress and you can still work it out.
yeah.
So that's how this the science behind it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I can do a small demo, which is called as the constructive breathing demo. Okay,
Of
constructive.
course.
So for those who are watching, and because we are not, it's not an interactive session. For those who are
Yeah.
watching, uh, first I'll do this with you, Ashwini.
All
So
right.
let's just take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through your mouth, and just get a sense of, where are you breathing from? Are you breathing from your nose, from your chest, or from your stomach? And how is it? Is it free flowing? Is it
Yeah.
is it blocked, or
It's
is it stuffy? Is it shallow?
I
You
think
can,
it's free and it's deep.
okay.
I'm feeling very relaxed after listening to all of this. So
Okay. So if your breathing is free, then I want you to bring into your awareness something, anything, could be something very small in your life right now which stresses you up, or
Mhm.
which ticks you off, or probably irritates you. So just bring into your awareness any such thing that probably stresses you up.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you comfortable talking about it?
Yeah. So for me, it's about I'm just trying to at this moment get more easy with my food. Okay, which means I'm trying to eat more healthy food, and
Mm.
I'm trying to be as regular and as committed in my practice for that. But there are days it doesn't happen, and it just puts me a little off. I just feel that, oh, I haven't done this, I have not done this, and I just try to control that. So I want to have more ease with it at the same time, eat healthy too. So that's something which right now I'm currently working on.
Okay. So when you say that this is your issue,
Yeah.
yeah, eating right, correct? Eating right.
Eating right,
Uh,
yes.
and how does it bother you?
Okay, so I have this thing that if I do not eat what I'm supposed to eat, I will gain weight, or my whole fitness schedule will go for a toss, and so that's
Okay.
that's what happens.
And if you gain weight and your fitness goes for a toss, how does it make you feel?
Um, I tend to feel, I don't know if that's the right word, quite disappointed, and that I'm letting myself down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not paying attention to my health, and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. So there is some kind of uneasiness which comes with that.
Okay. Uneasiness.
Yeah.
And what number would you give this disappointment and uneasiness? Or what would you pick up? Would you pick disappointed or uneasiness? Which
I
of the
think
two?
I think disappointment, because Sonal, the thing I'm facing is I know what I'm supposed to do, but when I don't do that, I feel I have let myself down. So I think that is what I want, disappointment.
So at what number would this disappointment be at?
I think it's six, somewhere between 6 and 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10
Okay.
is worst, right? And one is yeah. So I think I'm somewhere between 6 and 7.
So if I have to sum it up, I have this issue called eating right. And when I am not following it, I feel disappointed with myself.
Yep.
And uh, I feel it at a number 6 or 7. So the issue
Yes.
is eating right, the emotion is
Yes.
disappointed, and the number
Yes.
that measure is 6 or 7.
Yes.
So now let's tap on this.
Yep.
Okay? So at the side of your hand, tap along with me, even though, and repeat after me.
Even
And
though.
using your words, and
Yep.
any way you feel that I'm not using your words, please correct me. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So even though
Even though
I'm dealing with this issue
I'm
called
dealing with this issue
dealing right, eating
called
right,
called eating right,
and when I'm not able to follow it,
when I'm not able to follow it,
I feel disappointed with myself.
I feel disappointed with myself.
At a number 6 or a 7,
At a number 6 or a 7,
I still love and accept myself.
I still love and accept myself,
even though,
even though,
come to your eyebrows, even though I feel disappointed
even though I feel disappointed
when I don't follow my routine.
when I don't follow my routine.
And as we speak, we change the points, okay?
Yes, yes.
So I feel really disappointed.
I feel really disappointed.
I feel as if I'm letting myself down.
I feel as if I'm letting myself down.
I just feel so disappointed with myself
I feel so disappointed with myself
because I have decided to do something for myself and I'm not doing it.
because I've decided to do something for myself, but I'm not doing it.
I want to eat right all at all times.
I want to eat right at all times.
And when I don't do that,
And when I don't do that,
I feel really disappointed.
I feel really disappointed.
So much of disappointment
So much of disappointment
because I'm not eating right.
because I'm not eating right.
I'm letting myself down.
I'm letting myself down.
Even though
Even though
I want to eat right
I want to eat right,
and I feel disappointed when I don't follow it,
and I feel disappointed when I do not follow it,
I still love and accept myself.
I still love and accept myself.
Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And take a sip of water. Yeah. Now tell me, how was your disappointment? Is it still at a 6 or a 7?
It's not at 6 or 7, it's definitely lesser. I feel as if something is just lifted off my chest,
Okay.
so, and I feel more ease with it right now. So I feel as if, there is this whole urge of controlling. I feel okay, let's take one step at a time. Like I'm just vocalizing whatever is coming to me. So I feel okay, all right. We
Okay.
can we'll take one step at a time and see what it is. The overall stress of trying to be so much disciplined and not wanting to break it, that thing, it's loosened a bit. That's definitely what I
Yeah.
can say.
Yeah.
So I can put it, say, at two or three. I can say
Wow.
now. Yeah, yeah. I
In
can say.
one round, it's a 2 or a 3. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So, so this was an example of
yeah.
how you work on your issue,
Right.
yeah, and how it stresses you out, and how you can break it into
Wow.
chunks. Do it. You want another demo, or was this enough?
I think this was. I mean, I did feel something, like, and I'm actually sweating a little, as what I
Uh,
was compared to before.
it's probably a release, some sort of a
Yeah,
release.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I know it's very windy where I'm sitting, although it's evening and I've shut my windows and all because it gets very breezy in the evening. So, but I'm
Hmm.
still sweating a little bit. So I feel that bit of heat in my body at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we are good. I think this demo
Great.
was really good.
Okay. So yeah, so for those who are listening or watching or will watch later,
Yeah,
this is how you can in fact even just rewind, make a note of your issue,
yeah,
whatever you're dealing with. So make a note of your issue, the emotion associated with it, and give it a number. And you can, even though I am addressing Ashwini's issue, you can make a note of your issue and tap along,
yeah.
and then check how did you feel, and do put in comments and let us know how you felt. Did you feel a change, better, worse, or
Definitely.
same, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah. So that was it actually from my end. This about EFT and how stress affects us and how
Yes, and
to
it
manage
was.
it.
Thank you for the session. So I think I had my cake and ate it too. I could host this and I could receive a session from Sonal too. And something which has been really, I've been working on this for the past few months. Building
Okay.
up what I call as a healthy relationship with food is something which I'm working. And I think Sonal, we discussed about it as well, right? When we
Yeah,
spoke
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
So yeah, so that was really great. And thank you for giving that, and I'm sure a lot of people who will watch this even later will benefit from it. And tapping along is something which is very easy, but it is also very impactful. It looks very easy. It looks like kya kiya, bas itna kiya, but I think the impact is great. And if you are ready
Yeah.
to just really,
Yes.
yeah, Yeah.
It is like, suddenly you feel that something just was
Shifted.
lifted. Yeah.
Shifted. Yeah.
And it's about, see, I mean, I know there are a lot of other modalities and I'm not questioning them,
Of
but they
course.
talk about, speaking positive, thinking positive. But speaking positive, thinking positive without doing any groundwork, without addressing the pain that you're going,
Absolutely.
doesn't work. Even
And
if
it's
you
very
talk.
important to deal with what is the core thing. I always believe that it's very important to deal with that, because it is, many people do not understand that there is so much lying inside, and if you clean it from the root, a lot can change. Because in my personal journey, I will tell you, Sonal, like for the last, I think 13, 14 years now, I'm on this journey. Since 2010, 11 was where my awakening started, and a lot. But for me, my biggest breakthroughs happened after I actually went in and dug out all those unprocessed emotions, suppressed emotions, and that was what set me free. And that's why, when people say, oh, you are always very jolly, and I feel that I had to actually deal and heal all of that to
Well,
be where I am right now in life.
exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I think if that would be one takeaway for me from this discussion, and it would be, I always say, I always learn from every podcast I do, every guest I have. Like, although we are friends, we are colleagues, we work together, but I think every talk, it's teaches you something. So thank you
It's
so
absolutely.
much for sharing this amazing things. And
Thank you for
yeah,
having me. Actually. Pleasure.
thank you. And we just had a very big bang opening, I guess, with this, because
Yeah.
this has been on my mind since early 2023. This whole aspect of, having discussions relating to health. We had something in lockdown, but it was just a one-way talk. But having, a two-way talk with people, a discussion always is more fun to have. It's right. Sonal, do you mind? We have a question, I guess, from one of our viewers on Facebook. So,
Okay.
do you want to take that?
Hmm.
So,
So
Vaishali,
Charlie, I think
yeah,
asked that some
yeah.
parents mention about their children being very emotional and some being not emotional at all. How does the parent balance or help the child balance? Okay, when we have to work with children, so depends, how old is the child.
Yeah,
The child is a grown up, then we
yeah,
directly work on the child. If a child is, say, little,
yeah,
a toddler or probably preteen or something like that,
yeah.
then we work on the parent first. We suggest, working on the parent first because the parent needs to be grounded before,
Hmm.
trying to make the child feel grounded that, you should be emotional or you should not be emotional. Also, with my personal experience, when a child is going through an emotional issue, be it, expressing emotion at all, look at it from a third person point of view and not, get too involved with it because if
Hmm.
you're mixing your own emotions,
Yeah.
you will always often project your ideas on the child. You will not allow the child to express what he wants, or you will not allow the child
Yeah.
to groom the way he or she needs to be groomed in.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, and if a child is too emotional, then of course EFT helps. There are a lot of techniques which can help. Also, not to judge that, my child is
Ah.
too emotional or my child is not at all emotional. Like, whatever or wherever they are, respect that. And if they're actually dealing with an issue, make a space where they can come and communicate it to you, that I am feeling this, whatever it could be, it could be something very big, something very small, but they have that space where they can come and talk to you that, I'm dealing with this issue. So not to judge them when they are going through an emotional issue. If they are not able to deal with it, of course EFT helps. There are a lot of other modalities also that help. EFT works wonderfully with children, okay, because
Hmm.
even if you don't speak and when you tap on these points,
Yeah.
it is a lot.
Hmm.
So and if a child is not at all expressing, then you can also um, check that is the child really dealing with some sort of issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
child is, then um, is the child open enough to receive help? What kind of help the child needs? You'll have to check those things. And sometimes that's the basic nature. So if
Correct.
that's basic nature, then respect that and
Yeah.
yeah, still create a space where the
Space
child
for
can
the child to.
uh, come and communicate with you that,
Yeah. That
yeah,
you are an allowance of receiving that child's whatever they would like to share. They find you safe enough to open up. Is that right? How the way I'm
yes,
putting up? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they should feel safe to come and speak
Yeah.
to you. And suppose for some reason that, you're not been able to create that space with the
Yeah.
child
Yeah.
where, they can come and speak to you, then have somebody, who you trust
We trust.
or
Yeah.
who your child also, confides into to, go and share with that person so that you are aware. As a
Yeah.
parent, I don't think any parent would want to have, put a child in a vulnerable state
Of course. Of course.
purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Then there are a lot of times we are also dealing with our stuff. So we can also find alternatives through which, we can help the child.
And I think, one of the reasons why we made the community for all of us at because I talk a lot about the Unicorn Tribe, and I think the way we created Unicorn Tribe was to have a community where we have each other as as therapists, as friends, as healers, so that we could support. So I always tell people that create a community of people whom you trust, who can be
Yes.
there for you, and who are experts in their own fields. So
We have another question from Prerna. So how important or possible is detachment from your child? I think it's a
yes, yeah,
journey. Yeah, it is important to get detached at a level. I don't disagree. So
yeah.
what I've learned from my mentors and what I've understood over the years is that the child is through you. You don't own the child.
Yeah, wow.
So,
That's powerful.
yeah, you have to give that space to the child to groom, to choose their things, to be who they are. Okay. And detachment comes over there. That, I mean, if the child is choosing something which I don't think is right, or I don't understand it, or it doesn't resonate with me, I'm still allowing the child to, pursue
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
be that. Also, detachment is like, or where detachment plays more role. So it's like we associate so many values, right? मैं ऐसी हूं तो मेरा बच्चा ऐसा होना चाहिए, मेरे बिहेवियर्स ये हैं तो मेरे बच्चे के बिहेवियर्स ऐसे होने चाहिए।
Yeah.
अ, मेरा बच्चा ऐसा नहीं कर सकता है। इट्स यू हैव टू डिटैच योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम दैट कि इवन इफ मेरा बच्चा है, इवन इफ द चाइल्ड इज माइन, द चाइल्ड कैन चूज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स beyond your possibilities,
Yeah. Yeah.
imaginations, and
Yeah.
go beyond your values. Of course, you need to discipline the child. You need to, teach them, certain values.
Yeah.
But has to come with detachment because you can't take everything personally to heart. The moment your child behaves in a wrong way, it all comes down to us that, oh my God, what kind of parent I am? What have I taught to my
Yeah.
people will judge me. If my child behaves like that, मेरा नाम खराब हो जाएगा. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's where detachment comes into place. And what else did she say? How is it possible or not? It's a journey.
Yeah.
Detachment is a journey. First you have to understand that detachment is needed, and then
Yes.
you have to slowly with experiences you understand. How much can you get detached, or how much should you get detached, or
Yeah.
how detached or involved you should be. And detachment, a lot of people feel, "Ki, "Arey yaar, get detached, forget about it, don't
Forget
bother."
about it. No. No.
No. You are getting detached from controlling.
Controlling. Yes. And Prerna does that. And Sonal does that. Apply to all relationships. To
Yeah, of
to have
course.
a
Yeah,
healthy, safe, and
absolutely.
a fulfilling life. Like I personally believe that. So I mean, I was about to say thank you, Prerna, for this, because I think detachment is so important topic, not just as a mother and a child, but in all relationships, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your family. But and detachment, like you said, does not mean that sabko chhod diya aur main chala gaya. No, that's not what detachment is letting go of the control. So I think that
Yes.
was so important. That's a very powerful question, and I think the way you put it across is good. And yes, for all relationships, this would be a takeaway for everyone to live a healthy life, I would say, because emotionally, when you are also detached, it helps you with your mental health. You can focus on what's necessary and not be in the control, right? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's it. There are no more questions.
Thank you for watching, everyone. And Yeah, I think Sonal, this was something really wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I
Me
look
too.
forward to have more of these, because we'll be having this every Friday. We'll be having new
Yeah,
guest every Friday, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for kickstarting this journey so well through.
my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you all viewers who have been watching us since the past, I think 1.5 hour almost. Wow, that's wonderful. And for all of you who will also watch it later on YouTube, who will listen it on podcasts and on Facebook, thank you so much. Keep watching, and we will see you next week. Thank you, Sonal.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.